Good morning. I did not feel like getting out of bed today. It's about 9 o'clock. I got up about an hour ago. I got a couple Ubers that were all right, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like doing them. Then I got this one that's really not that great. But with this one, I literally, hold up, I'm getting it. This Uber's not that good of a one, but in my mind, I was thinking, this takes me out towards all the restaurants. So, you know, the 5 miles is driving towards all the restaurants. So that's good. But then, before I could even get to pick it up, they stacked me with this one. And this is another one that you're looking at and probably like, well, that's not that good. But then the address, like, that's right by my house. So they're basically paying me to do a round trip. So it'll be a total of like a little more than 10 miles. And yeah, just drop the two off and that's it. And Panera is like 500 feet from Tropical Smoothie, so these orders are beautiful. All right, so the first Uber drop off took me 15 minutes and it was 5.5 miles, and now I'm 4 miles from the drop off and then probably half a mile from my house after that. All right, so that's my first 2 deliveries. Back at my house now. Took me 30 minutes, drove 11 miles. I made like $15.50. Not the best I've ever done, but whatever, that's the way it goes. All right, so I walked in my door. I didn't even sit down, and I got another Uber, and I was like, really? And then I look at it, and I'm like, really? Okay. So I had to do this one. It's great miles to money. And then once I accept it, it's 19 items. Like, this is a huge order, and it's crazy because this is the house that I deliver groceries to from Safeway all the time. So they tip kind of meh, but I'm 99% that there's a hidden tip on this one. I pretty much guarantee it. And I also pretty much guarantee I'm gonna be sitting in Dunkin' Donuts for 5 or 10 minutes, which is fine. That's part of the game. All right, got it picked up. This joint feels like bonus pay, hidden tip. But yeah, when I went in there, I told them it was a Uber Eats, and I was like 19 items, and they're like, yeah, this order's crazy. And then the manager was like, you do Uber Eats and DoorDash? And I was like, oh yeah, I do both of them. And then the guy working, he's kind of a newer, I haven't seen him there much, but he was like, oh, I'm trying to be like you. All right, so that was a real easy run. Took me 18 minutes. So the way I track my time, I'll usually just round up or down. So by 15-minute increments. So we're gonna call that 15 minutes. Took 4 miles, supposedly $10, but I think there's a hidden tip on it, so I won't know for 2 hours. Y'all probably already know because how I edit the videos. Anyway, I got about another hour before I gotta do something, so we'll see if I get any more deliveries or not. I picked up these 2 orders. It is freaking pouring. Hopefully this dude's gonna come out. Oh my God. All right, so I was talking to one of my friends, so I couldn't record the pickup there, but Jesus Christ, it is pouring. All right, so I dropped off that second Uber. I was talking to my buddy on the phone again, so I could not film it. And I'm going home. I need to get my damn raincoat, man. God dang. All right, so these 2 Ubers that I did here, I was out doing some errands, and when I finished my errands, I turned on Uber. So when I got these orders, I turned on my Stride app, which is how I've been recording these. So anyway, it took me 45 minutes to drop off the 2 deliveries and get back to my house, and it was 11.18 miles. All right, got the bags full of pizza. This is a great order. The way the dude handed it to me was super sketchy, but I juggled it out, got it in the car. All right, so I dropped off that first DoorDash, and it showed me the pay. So maybe they decided that not showing the pay in between orders, people didn't like that. Or maybe it's just random, and sometimes they will and sometimes they won't. All right, so I dropped off that DoorDash, and it confused me first. I got excited. I was like, oh, $25.50. I thought the second order paid me that much. Nah, they just showed me the screen of both payouts for the second one. All right, so I got this Uber stack, and it looks like a good order. But then I go to pick up the first one, and then I realize the second pickup is not at the same spot. And I'm like, oh no, what if it's at Wingstop? Of course, it's at Wingstop. I've tried a couple times to pick up from this place, but it's always just more than a 10-minute wait. All right, the Wingstop went pretty good. They were putting it in the bag when I got there, so best Wingstop experience I've ever had. And this first one's going to the hotel at the mall, but the instructions say to meet in the lobby. All right, I dropped that first Uber off. He said he'd meet me in the lobby. He wasn't there. There was a dude standing like next to their desk, which is exactly where he said he'd meet me. So I kept looking at the guy, and then the guy was like, I don't know. I could tell it wasn't for him, but he said something like, oh, it could be for me. And then I was like, are you Justin? And he's like, I am today. So then I just laughed and kind of walked away from him. Then there was these people sitting at a table eating some Popeyes, and they were like, if I say it's for me, will you just leave it? I'm like, damn, man, how many people? These people trying to steal Justin's food. All right, so I was just looking at my payments. Justin, his order was $6.87, and this was 16 something. So that means this pho is $10. And the pho, there's a lot of food, so there's a good chance there's some extra hidden tip on that joint. Keep my fingers crossed. And then there's the two Ubers I did earlier when it was pouring, the pho 5 Up, and Five Guys. There was like $4 or $5 hidden tip on that joint. All right, and then I just dropped that pho off, and Uber, before I could even get the pho dropped off, sent me this one. It's for 10 something, so the magical number for a hidden tip, and it's only going 3 miles, so I got to do it. And then after dropping this off, I'm only 0.3 miles away from this place. I've never heard of this place before, but we're gonna check it out. All right, so Uber just tried to hit me with this disrespect. All right, I had to drop that Uber. They were talking nonsense. She like started looking at the order, and then she was like, let me see it again. And then she looked on the tablet and she was like, oh, they never entered it. So they didn't even start the order. I can tell you one restaurant I won't be going back to. All right, so I drove back after getting burned on that last Uber back to my house, and it took me an hour and 20 minutes, and hold on, let me check on my, I drove about 24 miles, and I made like 41 bucks, but I think there'll be more on the one Uber. I think there was a hidden tip, so we'll see. But good miles to money, good time to money. Waiting on the next Mamaromas now. All right, so I got this Mamaromas, and I am on a roll with DoorDash. That's 3 in a row today, no declines. And yesterday I did 8 in a row with no declines. And this order and one I did yesterday are the only two that I'm like, meh. Because this one, you know, I'm not really going to get any orders where I'm going with it. So it's kind of like drive out, come back. Where if I have to do it like that, I like to make at least $1 per mile, you know, round trip. And this one doesn't quite do that, but top dasher. All right, so Uber played this game with me. I dropped off that DoorDash, then Uber was sending me this not showing me nothing order. Like, yeah, right. Then they sent me this one at the China Sea. I swear to God, this is the most ghetto Chinese place around. There's another one that is competing for ghetto-ness, but I'll show you all what China Sea is like on the inside. It's like once COVID hit, these Chinese people, they I don't know if they're actually Chinese, but whatever, the people at the Chinese restaurant, they showed off their carpentry and MacGyver skills. That's what I'll call them. Because, like, I don't know what the Chinese restaurants in your area are like, but most of them in my area have got some type of 2x4 or whatever from Home Depot and clear shower curtains and created their own COVID protection. And they've been safe for years now. So they did do a good job. I'll give them that. So this one is another one at the hidden tip magic number of $10. And it is 9 items. So, you know, I bet there's some hidden tip on this joint. Where the hell is the China Sea? Oh, right next to the gun range. That's exactly where you expect a ghetto Chinese place to be, right? Next to the shooting range. All right, so there were mad people up in the China Sea. I was not about to be filming with my phone. All right, so I had to wait a minute to get the China Sea. And the dude, Brian, was texting me while I was sitting there waiting. Of course, Uber's got to read everything out loud. So there's like 4 or 5 people sitting around, and they all know Brian's address now, and they know that he wants it. He's gonna meet me at the dumpster, and he's standing outside right now. And then I texted him and was like, your order isn't ready yet. I'll let you know when I get it. And he's like, okay, but it says it's already ready. Sitting in the restaurant with 5 other drivers, I can't control that. All right, so Brian seemed cool. He came to the door with a beer in his hand, and it seemed like they were having a party. So hopefully they tip good. All right, I knew it. Tip just came in on that Faux 10 order. Faux 10 is funny if you don't know. That's the area code around here, 410. So the faux spot is called Faux 10. But yeah, the tip came in. There was like, what, 18 to 21 bucks. So $5 extra. Doing good. All right, I got these 2 Mama Roma's orders. Oh my God, that was the worst Mama Roma's experience I've had in a long time. I don't know what the deal was, but somebody took an order that they weren't supposed to take, and Mama and her son just like stopped doing anything to help any customers for like 10 minutes straight, trying to figure out what was going on. And there's just all these people there for DoorDash just trying to cut the line and show them their phone, and they literally just would like ignore them. And then they, you know, because they know me, they hooked me up once they finally figured out who took the pizza or whatever the hell the fiasco. Oh my God. DoorDash told me I could unassign both of those orders. And I accepted an Instacart that was better. I would have been done faster, and I didn't take it because I wanted to do these DoorDashes, but God, they made me work for that. All right, so that's gonna do it for this one. If you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button. Check out a video that's suggested for you. If not, I got another one coming out tomorrow and the next day, every day, 9 p.m. Take it easy.